I saw a movie, so you didn't have to. And while you don't have to see this one, oh boy, is it a lot of fun. At just under 2 hours, or right at 2 hours, John Wick's expanded universe comes to us in the form of Ballerina. And if you think this is going to be some very accommodating stuntman bouncing around because a little girl was throwing him around, well, that's not exactly right. And I'm going to tell you, it is super fun. But let's get into this really explosive review. Here we go. Look, there's not a lot to the John Wick movies, absent the first one, which had a lot more depth and a lot more plot than anything that followed. And while this movie is very similar in many, many ways, it's also quite different. There is a story. There's a story of loss in here. There's a story of things to overcome. There is a struggle, and there is a earned hero's journey that you wouldn't have expected in something like this. And before you jump all over it saying, hey, there's DEI, or there's a lot of things that are happening in the background that maybe aren't going to jive with the way the world would work or would be at that period of time, I'm just going to say that doesn't really matter. In fact, I didn't see any of it at all. I heard a little bit about it from others. I'm not too fired up about it, so that should tell you something. I have quite the nose for a lot of that bologna sausage, and I usually sniff it out right away, and while there might have been some, it was easily excusable, and the world that we live in, or at least this particular world, is incredible. Ana de Armas is not only a very attractive young woman, she is also an incredible actress and action star at this point. Yes, I know I said it, and most people won't believe it, but she really does throw herself around pretty well, and I'm sure her stunt women that were on that team were doing a large amount of the work, but she really does sell everything she's doing on screen, and you start to understand another element of this world that, well, we didn't really have a good handle on at this point. Now, there's a lot to this world of John Wick, this crime world that we're all just getting introduced to, and it's hard to say that considering this is the, I guess, 5th film and the 6th thing overall that we've seen, because don't forget, the Continental Hotel television show was phenomenal, and it kind of introduced us to that side of the world, and from whence most of this stuff came from. Ballerina gives us another aspect of this world, the world of the protectors. That's right, there's a special group of people, the ladies over at Ballerina, that are designed to, well, keep their wards safe. And that's what this is all about. In fact, the Ballerina is there to protect others and takes contracts based on that, and seems to do a good job as well. Although, it seems like she could play on either side, whether an assassin or a protector, she can pretty much do it all. And absolutely does. Now, here's the great thing. While you are probably keenly aware that Keanu Reeves was added to this later on and part of about several weeks of reshoots, that was totally worth it. This film would have ended entirely differently with maybe something that wasn't so satisfying, whereas here you get about 12 minutes of John Wick being John Wick, and you get Ana de Armas being the Ballerina. Of course, her character actually has a name, and it's Eve, and she loses her father. I'm not going to go into how or why because I'm going to limit spoilers up front. And Eve loses her family, for lack of a better way to say it, more completely. She, of course, is a young person that falls into the world of John Wick, the Romakovska, something like that. And you know what? Be mad at me because I don't pronounce things right or remember them exactly. But I'm not going to spoil this for you just by saying that, you know, this particular family is the same one that John Wick comes from, just the other side. And of course, she's trained to be a protector. That's what the Ballerina school does, I guess. And she really does take that job quite seriously. The test is a little rough to take at the beginning, but when you get to the middle of the film, you're now rooting for Ana de Armas's character, and you're rooting hard. Everything about this is designed to take you through all of her struggles, her trials and tribulations, and she gets a little help from her friend at the end. Now, I don't know what people are going to walk out of this theater feeling, but I was elated. Not because this is a great film, and we'll get to the score in just a few moments, so stick around, but because it was a fun film, and we need more and more of those, whether it's Liam Neeson in the upcoming Naked Gun spinoff, whether it's more of these films like John Wick 5, which Stileski says he is still working on. But we need more and more films that make us feel like we've experienced something, that you have an emotion about coming out of the theater. And unlike chapter 4 of John Wick, there's no silly falling down the stairs for 20 minutes, right? That isn't part of the plot. This is beginning to end action, and I mean it, because from about a minute and a half, 2 minutes into this film, you have 10 minutes of action scene, and then you have the result, and then you have things going on in the background. Eventually you end up with another action scene and another and another, and pretty soon you're at the end of the film, probably somewhat exhausted because of just how much action is here. Lots of gunplay, of course. There's a ton of gun fu, but there's also some new original things that happen in here, including death by ice skate. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy that. There is new areas that we've never seen before, different armory locations, and of course a different location for a different tribe, one that's a little less tribe and more cult. And of course those are the bad guys. Suffice it to say, not only is there a ton of action, lots of bullets and stabbings and all of those fun things, but there's also a really solid ending, something that I don't think many people would expect. And the ballerina actually ends up in the same position as John Wick does, is kind of an outcast and somebody that everybody is going to be gunning for. So if you don't think John Wick is going to have anything come of it, I'm going to tell you I have a feeling or a sense that these two will be set up together going into John Wick 5. Not in a romantic way, but in a action team partner way. Can't really call it a buddy cop, or how about a buddy assassin movie? Are those a thing? Regardless, if you're looking for mischief, mayhem, and just a whole lot of fun, this movie is right up your alley. And again, not a great movie. This is better, however, than Thunderbolts by miles, and it's going to be a lot more satisfying than Anti-America Brave New World. This film is a good time, and it scores a 7. I know that might be a little high because I'm still flying after I just got out of the theater, but it's 2 hours well spent, unlike anything else I've seen in a while, and I just feel like most guys are going to really enjoy this, and many ladies as well. And at the end of the day, isn't that actually what you're looking for? I know that's what I'm looking for. What I'm also looking for is good scores, and at 7, this is a pretty good score. It's better than average, and well, at least average for now, and it's not anywhere close to the pinnacle. It takes a lot to climb up to number 8, takes a lot to climb up to number 9, and you have to be the perfect film ever made to get up to a 10. So when I drop back down to the 5-star system, this thing, 3.5 stars. So better than average, not by a lot, but by enough that it qualifies for that extra half a star. Now, if you've seen this picture, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And while everybody's down there commenting on this or asking me questions, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, share this video out there, and again, comments are absolutely encouraged, as well as watching another one of my videos right after this, because A, it guarantees that you won't miss anything that I release, because that kind of helps the notifications get lifted up. But at the same time, it really does tell YouTube that you are interested in my content. And boy, do I need that on my crawl to 50K, which, by the way, we need to get 10,000 more of you. That's right. And the only way to do that is for you to help me out. So be sure to do all the things. And as always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others. And until next time, see ya. Hopefully at a John Wick movie.